Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to this Zoom session on creative content writing. It's my pleasure to welcome each one of you to our session this evening. So we're going to delve right into talking about this concept of content writing, but in a creative way. Why? It is not enough to just write and write and write. But then you also have to be able to capture your readers' interests, stir their imaginations, and even draw them to want to read more. And you might ask, why is this important? It is important because if, say, you have a business that you want to sell a product, you write a documentation or a review about that product, you want to be able to capture your readers' interest. So that is what we are going to talk more about this evening. And to do that, we are going to invite our speaker, Mr. Japhet Sokwe-Buka. He's going to take us on the tour on this concept of creative content writing. So we are going to invite him to speak now.
Good evening, everyone. My name is David Japhet Sokwe-Buka. So today we are going to listen to a theme, how to become a creative content writer. Let me share the screen. I hope you all can see my screen. How to become a creative content writer. So this session is organized by Double D Solutions team. So today we are going to see the following. We are going to listen to the following outline: definition of concepts and introduction to experts in the field. So we are going to talk about why we should try to become creative writers, not just creative writers, why we should also become content writers. So you also see the reason that we are going to link between creative writing and content writing. You see the relevance, why we don't just focus on writing creatively, rather we should also incorporate creative writing and content writing. So lastly, we are going to talk about what you need to become a creative content writer. This will be able to broaden the steps on becoming a creative content writer, what you need to do. So to introduce, the following question I can do: are you passionate about writing? Can you think creatively? Can you develop a topic or a notion creatively, intelligently, and effectively? If so, that means this session will help you a lot. It is going to bring the best out of it's going to bring out the best in you, and then show you why you should think creatively and write content, produce quality content that will be able to sell in the market. You know, the focus of our presentation is to find a means to generate ways we can earn extra income. So most of us may have a business we are doing, or may be employed gainfully, but we still have to keep on doing other things like side hustles in order to get other means to sustain, because the bills are rising every day. So if you answer yes to these three questions we have here, that means you can become a creative content writer. But we want to understand what it means by creative writing, what it means to be, what content writing is all about. Creative writing refers to a process of developing an original writing that expresses one's ideas and thoughts in an imaginative way. So when we talk about creative writing, It deals with something of the mind. You want to show the people that you really have what it takes to be. Imagine things based on your imaginations, you put them down in writing. So that is what creative writing is all about. But what about content writing? Content writing refers to a process of creating and publishing a written content for several purposes, such as marketing, education, or entertainment purposes. So you see that these two types of writing are different. They are not the only types of the types in writing types we have. They are just sub levels of it. So there are two different types of writing. What we are trying to show you how you can become the both a writer that can write creatively and also become a content creator as you write. So note from the definitions, you see that creative writing deals with something of the mindset. It deals with your emotions. It deals with your imaginative ability. But when it comes to content writing, you are writing for a particular purpose. It could be you are into education writing or entertainment. We are writing about entertainment to entertain people, or you are writing for a business purpose. So that is when you are a content writer. We'll still see more of these definitions, the difference between the two types of writing as we go further in this presentation. Now, what are the similarities? When we talk about creative writing, what are the similarities between creative writing and content writing? Creative writing refers to creating content. In both of them, okay, we are talking about similarities now. Creative writing and content writing involves developing a content. The two. If you are either a creative writer or a content writer, you are developing a content. Creative writing and content writing are skills in developing content. They are skills. So someone could be skilled in creative writing and another person could also be skilled in content writing. So both skills are important. So all of them involves skills. Creative writing and content writing, they are both original writing. You don't plagiarize people's writing. You think about what you write. You put them down originally. So that is what both of them involves. Now, what are the differences between these two types of writing? When we talk about creative writing is driven by emotions. What you imagine, how you perceive things, you think about them, then you'll be able to go into writing. But when it comes to content writing, it is purpose-driven. It is a writing that actually wants to achieve a particular goal. So creative writing is intended to express feelings, stimulate interest, and entertain audience. So while content writing aims at attracting a particular audience to achieve a specific action. I don't know if you are getting the point. So when you talk about creative writing, you express your feelings. You want to stimulate interest in people, entertain your audience. That is the focus of creative writing. However, when it comes to content writing, you are targeting a particular audience. You want to sell your writing to a particular audience. So that's what content writing is all about. So it is purpose-driven. You may not feel like writing the particular content. Someone may ask you, give you a topic to write about. For example, I once wrote some content, developed some content for a company. So what they usually do is that they will send you different topics in different areas of writing. Give you this topic, just go and develop. That may not be in your interest. For example, I'm medically inclined, so I'm a medical writer per se, but most times you may want to write in order to earn money if you are a content writer. So if you are going with these definitions and these differences, you see that the one that is really purpose-driven and the one that can actually help you to gain more money is content writing compared with creative writing. But when it comes to timing, creative writing requires lots of time than content writing. Why do I say so? When you are thinking creatively, it may take you time to process the thoughts. You may write down some certain things. You have to go back and then try to become motivated for you to go back to start writing again. But when it comes to content writing, it don't require much time. Why do we say so? Because in content writing, you have a specific goal to meet. For example, a company may ask you that you want this market to sell. Write about this product, write a review about this product. You may give in just a day to complete that. So whether you like it or not, you have to meet your target. So that is what content writing is all about. But it's not that way in creative writing. Creative writing uses floral or verbal styles of writing. So in the sense that, for example, you can listen to the word like, a man without hands come to the door to send me a photograph of my house. So in creative writing, you tend to think, to carry out words. We can also link creative writing to writing poets, writing literature, genres of literature that involves creating things of. So that is the things it involves. But when it comes to content writing, it is usually clear, straight to the point, and uses persuasive styles of writing. It aims at stimulating the audience to agree to what you are saying. That is what content writing is all about. So having this background information, now let's go to the main purpose of this course. Okay, before we go to the main purpose of this presentation, let us mention some of the notable creative writers. You know some people that are creative writers, and these people, they have been able to achieve much words. In your screen, you'll be seeing notable creative writers. You see names like Ernest Hemingway, William Faulkner, Raymond Carver. Then when it comes to notable content writers, you see Vibakaka, Darren Rose, and many others. What are the common things these people share? These people, they are self-independent. They don't work for people. That's one thing about them. They are CEOs. You can research about them. They are doing well. So if you take writing as something important, you can become self-reliant. You can have something that you can do and call it your own. So that is one thing about writing. So these names you are seeing here, these people have actually gone heights. They've developed different kinds of them. For example, Ernest Hemingway is an American literature writer. So the man has been able to acquire much wealth and has written many books. So let me also mention one of the notable content writers in the world, like Viber Kakan. He's the founder and CEO of IMM Skills. And we also have the one that coordinates Course the Code and advisor on code. These are applications the man has developed. So he's one of the best content writers in the world. He's in the top list of them. So if you start reading about their histories, what they've discovered, you see that these people are really great people. That is why writing is something you can really opt for. Now, let's go to the purpose of our presentation. The aim of this presentation is to describe how to become a creative content writer. Now, we are now combining creative writing and content writing. So we want to teach you now how you can become a creative content writer. So we have two major objectives. The first objective is to determine the importance of integrating content writing and creative writing in today's world. The second objective is to identify the steps required for becoming a creative content writer. Now, what is the importance of integrating content writing and creative writing in today's world? The first key there is that versatility is needed to meet the changing demands of the world. We need to become versatile for we to be able to get what we want. This world, if you fold your hands and say, let me just manage one particular business, or this might work, and you fold your hands, you may not really go high. You may not be able to meet the changing demands of the world. So you need to be versatile. So that is why people who are creative writers are now incorporating content writing. So, creative writing talks about is an emotional type of writing that stimulates people to act. Then content writing is purpose-driven. Combining the two, you're able to stimulate your writer, the people you are writing for your audience, and then you target them and then get what you want, send the information across to them. So that is why it is necessary to integrate content writing and creative writing in today's world. Another thing we need to have in mind is that the other point is flexibility is required to adapt to the complex needs of individuals and organizations in today's world. For many businesses, e-commerce has become the goal. E-commerce. Before COVID-19, people were running their normal businesses, in-store services, but the concept of COVID-19 and pandemic and everything that comes afterwards made many companies, for them to survive, they have to incorporate e-commerce. They are flexible. So today, if you're a writer, if you really want to meet the current demands of the world and meet your needs, you need to be adaptable. You need to adapt to changes. That is why flexibility is a key goal. Another thing that shows that there are creative content writing and content writing that shows the need to combine in content writing and creative writing is that we humans as individuals, we have our needs and demands, and our needs and demands are changing. So as our needs and demands are changing, writing needs to change to meet the current needs and demands of people. So that is why it's important to integrate these types of writing. So if you are a content writer, you will try to include or incorporate creativity in your writing. It will make you to boom faster. I don't know if you are getting that. If you are a creative writer, you need to make more money. So that is why you need to include content writing in your creative works so that you can say your writing and then be able to achieve much in your writing. So the second goal is to identify the steps that we need to become a creative content writer. So for you to become a creative content writer, the following steps will be very valuable. Number one step is know your writing tools and how to use them. That's number one step. The second step is to know your audience and their needs. The third step is to know your market to monetize your writing. These things, we are going to elaborate on the following steps for you to know why it is important for you to become a creative content writer and understand the necessary steps, what you should do to become a creative content writer. Now, writing tools and how to use them. That's the first step. What are the writing tools that you need to become conversant with? You see a chart. This chart shows the one that is most important. But let me start with the first one we have on our list. We have computer device. If you want to start writing, you need to have a computer device. So it is shaded yellow. It is shaded yellow. So that is why we need to be able to, you see the aspects that's taken. So also, we have the other one that is called grammar and writing aided apps. It's shaded green. So these ones, why is the green portion is small, shows that it is, and it is not the most important when it comes to writing. Because if you're a writer, you must write creatively, and then you must also try to ensure that your grammar is good. If you're able to write well, then grammar and other writing apps will be an added advantage to you. The other one is plagiarism checkers. So we need to become original. Initially, we mentioned that for you to become a good writer, you must become original writer. Whether you're a creative writer or a content writer, and now you want to become both creative content writer, that means you must be original. The larger aspect of it in our chart is internet connections. You really need internet. Internet is the goal. That is why it has the highest shaded portion for we to achieve what we want. So some of the devices you need, you can see them in the picture. The pictures illustrate the major writing tools we need. We have the computer device, we have smartphones, we have tablets. These tools are important. We can utilize them to be able to achieve our writing. So the second step we are going to talk about is knowing your audience and their needs. You may ask this question: who is my target audience? Are you targeted on children? Are you targeted on youth? Are you targeted on older people, business people, online users, e-commerce industry, or other companies? These things are very important. For example, if you are writing for a company that sells wares, let's say Zara Fashion Company. Zara Fashion Company, their goal is to target young people. So that means you have to know your target audience. That will enable you to know how you can be able to pass your message to reach this target audience. Another thing we need to know is, what are the needs of my target audience? Let's say my audience, they have a need of achieving entertainment. They are into entertainment. So they want me to actually sell their entertainment market. So I have to actually to change my writing, to channel it to the entertainment industry. If your audience is to improve sales, let's say marketing and businesses, then that means you have to channel your writing to suit that. If your writing is for advertisement, that's the purpose of writing, you have to know how you are able to put up your tools together to ensure that you write in such a manner. So another thing that you need to ask yourself is, how can I meet their needs? My audience, will be able to identify who our audience is and then notice their needs. Now, how can you meet these needs? That is where creativity comes into play. Content writing, content development comes into play, and also entrepreneurial mindset comes into play. All these things come into play if you want to actually know your audience and their needs. So the next step will further show us what else we need to do. Know your market to monetize your writing. When we talk about knowing our market to monetize your writing, what does that mean? You can see a plate of food in front of you. Is that not so? Is that food not looking fine? We'll come to that. So where can I sell my writing? That is another thing you need to ask yourself. If you are into social media, you can use social media to sell your writing. Yes. You can start by delivering short content in your status, on your profile. Attract people to you. If you are into freelancing, we have freelancers home, such as the Upwork. For example, I am a member of Upwork, and I've actually written more than 100 works. I have if you check my Upwork, David Jaffet, you see that it is showing green that I have a verified account in Upwork. You have another place where you can sell your marketing or sell your writing, that's Quora. You can restart this on your own. But now the question is, how can I sell it? How can you actually sell your writing? It is packaging. So draw attention to those foods in your face. You will see that looking at the plate of dish, if you are presented with this dish, you really want to eat such, seeing how it was being packaged. So if you package your writing well, then you'll be able to sell your writing. So that is one thing I want you to know. So have this in mind. Then we are rounding up our discussion. This is the conclusion aspect of it. So what have we been able to discuss so far? We've talked about creative content writing. We've talked about many things about it, introduced it, and then showed the steps we need for we to become creative content writers. Now, to cap it off, creative content writing is a soft skill you can easily develop. Remember the initial question we asked in our introduction. So if you're able to think creatively, if you are able to develop a content, you can become a creative content writer. Also, creative content writing provides you an opportunity to become self-employed. That is it. Many companies are on the search for good creative content writers. So if you follow the steps outlined in this presentation, It will help you to become a good creative content writer. Thank you. So the chairman, can you stop my share?
Thank you very much, Mr. Japhet Chukwuebuka. I'm sure we all can agree that that was a really exhilarating experience that we just went through. He has toured us, or he has given us a tour into the world of creative content writing. That was a really incredible presentation, and we cannot express our gratitude to him well enough. Well, we have all heard what it takes now, haven't we? That it's not just about writing, but we also have to make it creative as well. And we also have seen all that is necessary for us to do that. This is just the first edition of this series into writing. And the first edition is all about creative content writing. As time goes on, in the coming months, we are going to release, or we are going to hold other sessions just like this. It's even going to be far more engaging because as at that time, we're going to have experienced writers also give their own experience on the call, which will motivate beginners or intermediates to want to venture into the field of writing. So this is where we're going to cap it off for today. Thank you all for joining, and we are also expressing our deepest gratitude to the speaker, Mr. Japhet Chukwuebuka David. So this is where we'll cap it up for now. Until next time, this is Double D Solutions, and we are signing out.